It is what is a world economy and what would a global economy be like? Uh, what what would it be like? I don't know exactly, but I'm gonna tell you sort of what I have a narrow opinion kind of about what it would look like because we haven't obviously been into a world global economy yet, right? So we don't exactly know what all it would be like, but we do know that it would change into a like a brand new law and type of authority. So whatever that is, it's gonna dictate or not or whatever um, that's gonna be. So there's possibly gonna be one person in charge of everybody, maybe. So world economy. Now, if you're looking at the Democrats, is kind of one of the reasons why I brought this up is because I wanted to talk about who they do a lot of business with. If you look at their foreign policy, they're doing business with like places like Iran. They got some people killed in Libya, um, but Iran in particular um, does not uh, basically meet the same criteria of what their domestic policies have been, say, like trying to do the different types of things that the say the Obama administration, not even getting into Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton, just what's been going on lately. What the Obama administration's agenda has been. What has it been? It's been um, pushing um, certain things, and I just won't get into them. I'll just point out that they are completely different than what the people who they like are kissing the butt, like John Kerry. You look at John Kerry, um, who he tries to appease to, you know. Um, I say Iran, so I bring Iran into that. They're if they were looking for energy again, they would have already have been done with their programs. Anybody with intelligence would be able to understand that the way that the nuclear, evidently the way that the nuclear warhead process goes is it takes time, and that's exactly what you've been seeing them doing with the uh, uranium that they have. So they're enriching it more, or they're trying to um, create a atom bomb or a nuclear weapon is what they're trying to do. So basically, Obama's okay with them having a nuclear bomb while he wants to like defuse, act like he's defusing something, but he's really disarming people who are on our side, who are in a democracy and are basically living in a free society. So sometimes you just, um, I don't know, it's just ridiculous to um, some of the things that go on here. It's just ridiculous, but it's evidently the things that the Democrats do, and even I would say maybe some Republicans would be maybe it's possible feasible that Republicans on the other hand would maybe want a if they did want a world government, like say I was just saying George Bush the second was not necessarily for a world economy or globalist. He wasn't a when you say an establishment person, but I believe that his father was, but I don't think that his father was trying to make a world economy with Iran. See what I'm saying? So there's a difference there, even with some of the people who go for a you say global alliance or whatnot. But who do they pick? So evidently, George Bush, the first guy, wanted a global type of United Nations type of thing, but with all of the allies that we had normally would have been in that, and then we would have had. I don't know how you would have brought those people into a system like what we have, anyways, without um, doing it militarily, anyways. So um, evidently they they pushed us into a situation where we needed to go into Iraq, and it was necessary. Well, that's what George Bush said. We said that if they pull out of there, that we'll end up back in there. I believe that he said something like that. So um, now I'm convinced that now that we did what we did there, now we're gonna have to go back. So the last 7 years has been, you know, kind of this backwards policy. It's anti-American and not legitimate with America's goal and what we, you know, what we're trying to achieve. It's the opposite. So that's the reason why it's all chaotic. But yeah, we have to keep this world economy and global um, economies and people being united like that in mind, and like who is going to be in that alliance. So obviously it's the he already said, Obama already said the 57 states. So that is I would start with them, and then like Cuba and um other places that don't give their people a break. And you know what I mean if you know the difference between um being dictated to and being in a democracy. Um, so we know who Obama's allies are. So I just wanted to take a quick analysis at what some of the implications would be if we had met this global world economy goal that these elitist Democrat liberals want. So they'd say, so I pointed out the allies. So their allies are basically warmongers and dictators and people who punk their subjects, you know, all around and don't give anybody any slack. You know what I mean? So people who viciously attack our democracy that are living here are abuse it. They're just they're not smart. I just have to point that out how they're just lacking something that lets like gives them common sense enough to catch on, but yet they're put in different jobs and places, you know, of authority or seniority, and it's just ridiculous these days anymore. So America is going to have to get back to, um, you know, putting the right people in charge of different things so that things don't get chaotic like they did in Iraq whenever Obama just pulled us out of Iraq like that. And he's not a military person, so there's no way that Obama could ever in a million years identify with the military or identify with any military. So I just, you know, this him raiding and getting Bin Laden and all that stuff. I wish people would really just shut up because you know that's really um redundant. It's nonsense. So I was gonna say, I'll just say Iran hangs gay people, and over here you got these people are pushing this gay um, pride thing or whatever, and it's really ridiculous. I'm really not an anti-gay person, but I'm not a pro-gay person either. So I'm just like, what the hell, So I know that some of them have been and are pretty nasty people, so I don't cut them any slack. Whenever I have a confrontation with any of them, I mean, I'll let you know that I'm not gonna badger somebody for what they do, but I just really don't care to really know, people's personal lives or anything like that. It's just really stupid to me, and I do not think that marriage with a guy and another guy, makes much sense. Makes very much sense, in my opinion. And that's another thing that we're talking about. You not being allowed to have an opinion. So are we going to be Sharia law? Is it going to be like Sharia law? The 57, uh, Islamic State, Obama, really? I mean, good grief. So I really don't know what the scar on his head is all about. Probably got it somewhere when he was a child, maybe. I don't know. Those guys do, but that's who he is trying to bring to the table, and he's trying to kick all the people that we're used to out of the table. And it would be it would be Japan or all of them, Italy, all of them. Even maybe even France. If they didn't get on board with his attitude and what his opinion was, like he was, because he became who he was, the U.S. president that had not had a proper birth certificate for being, what do you say, eligible to be president, even. So, um, they wouldn't have, even though he might have been eligible because of his mom being from here. But at some point in Obama's life, he was named that other name. And the thing of it is, I'll tell you what it is if you want to hear. Is that he took funds for being a foreign exchange student, and that's when what some of the documents that they sealed the information on him. So, I mean, he should have been probably booted. He should have been booted, and I guess it would have caused us to have our whole election screwed up. So, if not him come in and screw with their country for this long, it would have at least done a wrench in and really screwed things up royally to have had a person that isn't even a citizen. So Obama was possibly not even wasn't even a citizen. Did he regain his citizenship? Because I know that at that point he had to give up his citizenship. So I think on the grounds of that, I would think he's kind of piece of garbage, is this, and not only that, but his backtrack to his history, and how much he was more of a basher of America. The Clintons are bashers too, but they were in specifically in hate America rallies, not anti Vietnam or anything like that rallies. And I've been made aware of that, so I don't confuse that. I have to make that point to people that that's what you're dealing with. So, as radical as that is, that's who the Democrat Party in particular wants to put in there. And for whatever fascist reason, they think that all that they're doing, they're going to get us to a world economy. Now, is that going to destroy our borders? So, are they going to say that we have no right to even have a border? So anybody in the world, whoever they want, can come here and live, right? Don't have to be American anymore. To run for the presidency here, right? Would that matter? Would that really matter? How would they? How would they get a one world government leader? Would all of our leaders all together pick one guy out of them all or something? Or just one guy rise up out of out of some potash or something? I don't know how you get to having the one guy who's in charge of all that, but we've seen Obama go and sit at the United Nations, head of the United Nations, and for a minute that actually I think it might have sort of made his presidency nullified for a minute. So I don't know if Biden was president until he came back or something. I don't know, but it's really highly wrong and illegal. So I don't know who the pump of swine thinks he is, but if you're the American leader, um, you need a good thinker, not somebody who's got their head in the toilet. So that's all I really wanted to say. The world, what is the world economy, the global economy going to be like? Um, I tell you, it brings in a whole new law, era of law. So I don't know what that's gonna be like, but just wanted to make a video and ask that question. It's a kind of a question. I just wanted to see maybe some people might want to leave a comment and say what their opinion of what of what is a world economy. What would a global economy be like? Maybe add who the hell is or how the hell they're gonna get the one world leader guy. Where's he gonna come from? And is that what is that gonna do to our money? And basically a way of life, our borders. Um, so just law and new government. What kind of crap are they gonna force on us? And you can see that they have a mentality in Washington that is do as I say, not as I do. So they're not truly no representative of mine because they don't take care of issues um, that I think are relatively important to all of us as a nation. So definitely it's gonna have to be somebody like that, a little more charismatic. But I'm not for a world economy. I'm for an American economy being strong and paying our debt off here. So I'm against. I'll tell you my opinion, my view. I'm against the world economy and the globalists. I'm against that, and I'm for American strong leadership and intelligent people replacing all these damn morons.